Yo, peace everybody, it's Sean Falyon. Now listen, excuse my voice, longer story. This is my first episode of Be Here. The name is Sean Falyon, Be Everywhere. We'll get into that later. But Be Here is basically about, being present. And I'm gonna tell some stories, I'm gonna give some information. I'm gonna do all types of things so we can get a little bit more acclimated and communicate a little bit more. Today's episode, I want to talk about building it till they pay attention. A lot of times people get scared to do things like me. I've been hesitating on pressing record on this video forever, having all the equipment in my studio and just, not doing it. So today I was like, hey, we're going to get this done. So like I was talking about with building it till they pay attention, you got to start somewhere. A lot of people I talk to, they ask me a million questions and I give them answers, and then the biggest issue is them never starting or never doing or even attempting the thing that they want to do. So like for me, I had to always start somewhere. I didn't have anybody just give me anything, not even information. I had to go find it. I had to attempt, I had to fail, I had to try again. Sounds like a cliche story that everybody got, but it's reality. I was a indie artist, on all the blogs, front page of iTunes, performed in many shows, many stages, and built my name up just by kind of moving around and building good relationships and just being a solid person. So, people started saying, Sean Falyon, Be Everywhere. Shout out to my man Corey Mo, he coined the phrase, but I was running into so many different people and it became like I was kind of omnipresent, like I was damn near everywhere for real. But my goal for that was never to be everywhere physically. It was just to be talked about in the same manner in different rooms without somebody, without me having to remind somebody to bring my name up, or when people brought my name up, just like, yo, he a good dude. Just really making the foundation solid. So back to building, you build anything, any vehicle, anything you're attempting to do has to have a solid foundation. So you got to start somewhere and focus on the purpose of doing it or answering a question or whatever. For me with music, it was just like, I love music. So I answered the question of, fulfilling a passion. And, I had some people tap in that became fans and liked what I was talking about. And, it took me different places. Ended up in Atlanta and, became kind of a fixture in the culture out here, more so in events, and then I pivoted into DJing, and, everything started with a building block, with building it till they paid attention. And, with that building, I created community. I created a great community out here, actually around the world. Sometimes I'll land in the country and somebody be like, yo, where you at? I'm gonna come pick you up, So that would have never happened if I didn't attempt to build it, or, if I wasn't continuing to build. So just kind of want to let y'all know, you got to build till they pay attention. And when they start paying attention, you don't stop building. You keep adding on to what you built to make it bigger than ever and bigger than life, and just really to fulfill your initial purpose with why you even started to build in the first place. You know what I'm saying? It could be to be of service to others. It could be to be of service to yourself, or service of passion, service of love. But you gotta, you gotta build. You know what I mean? And if you get, what's the word? If you get to a point where you feel like nobody's paying attention and all those things, you gotta keep at it. This is my first of these videos. It might only have one view. It might not even have no views. It might have 2 views, whatever. I just had to start somewhere, until they pay attention. Yo, my name's Sean Falyon. Remember, be here.